Hello everyone, welcome to my show. I'm the Empath. Now, you might be wondering why it's so dark, and the answer is simple. It's past 2 o'clock in the morning. This video is not for any video. Focus mainly on the audio instead, okay? I've been coming up with an interesting concept in the past few minutes. So, as this will be titled, depending on how I do things, it's titled Me. I've got a pretty decent life. I have my own problems, my own worries, my own stresses, my frustrations, etc., and so on. And it's all counterbalanced with my blessings, my fortunes, my relationships, my privileges, etc., and so on. It's all carefully counterbalanced, wobbling back and forth at semi-regular intervals, all counterbalanced with my mind, my personality, my soul. Some people say they want to be someone else. You want to be this star, this actress, this policeman, this social worker, this parent, that teacher, or whoever. There are plenty of people I know who sometimes they tell me they want to be me. Wish they could be like me. You might want to be like somebody, but you don't want to be them. You don't want to be me. You don't. You don't get to be me. No. I'm me. And I don't want to be anyone else. I don't want to be my dad. I don't want to be my brother. I don't want to be Liam Neeson or Ewan McGregor or Jessica Alba or Angelina Jolie. I don't want to be anybody else but me. The only exception I can think to this rule is Jesus. But then again, that's not a privilege that we can all have. But you understand the idea. I don't want to be anybody but me. And you shouldn't want to be anybody but you. And I realize from a psychiatric perspective, that's not a thing to say. You should or you shouldn't. Because then you run into the problem of why don't you yes but. Because you say why don't you this, and they say yes but that. But for my personal tastes, I don't think anybody should want to be anybody else. Just don't. Want to be you. Because you might want to be somebody else. You might think you want to be somebody else. But you don't know their problems. You see their good, but you don't know what bad it's counterbalanced with. You might see some of it, but you don't know all of it. You might not even know half of it. And the thing is it's balanced with the good in their life. The bad. The bad and the good are balanced. But the thing they're balanced on is why you don't want to be them, because it's balanced on them. If you were them, then you'd still be you, but you'd be you as them. Now I realize that's a confusing concept. You would have their privileges and their problems and their body and all of that, just like you think you would. Just like how you picture it in your head. But it would be your personality and your mentality and such. And you would not be able to handle that. You wouldn't. Just like I wouldn't be able to handle being you. Your benefits and your problems would not outweigh each other. They would be teeter-tottering back and forth at such a rate that they wouldn't balance each other. They would be in such a state of chaos. It wouldn't be worth it. So I wouldn't care if you were seen as the richest person in the world with no care in the world. I don't want to be you. And I don't care if you're the poorest person in the world and woe is you. I don't want to be you either. Because the richest person in the world might actually be the loneliest person in the world. And they might commit suicide the next day. And the poorest, most miserable person in the world might the next day win the lottery. I don't want to be either of them. I don't want to be anybody but me. I have my problems, my worries, my struggles, my strifes. But I'll take it all. Nothing says I have to like it. There are people I want to be like. I want to be like my pastor and have his audacious faith in God. I want to be like my dad with his patience and his logic and his ability to assess the situation and detach himself from it enough in order to think about it logically. I want to be like my brother and be sociable and have talent in many fields and to be able to stick up for myself and speak up for myself in my own interests. I have various people that I want to be like. There are things that I want, traits that I want, time that I want, money that I want, but I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to be someone else just for the sake of having their benefits, because I don't want their problems. And you can't say you want to be somebody because of their benefits and not expect their problems. You can't just discount those. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't think anybody else should want to be anybody else either. Because anyone who says they want to be somebody else, they're either lying, they don't know the full value of what they're saying, or that is a very sad person. Because if someone truly wants to be somebody else and understands the full weight of everything that means, everything that implies, that means they would be willing to take on the sheer chaos of suddenly being somebody else, rather than handling everything that they have been accustomed to for as long as they have been accustomed to it. I have spent 18 years learning how to be me. I don't want to start over by being somebody else. I will happily stay me. And I might not always be happy, but I would rather be me than be anybody else. I would be miserable as anybody else. I felt that was something worth saying. Now again, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. well, past. So that's why it's dark. The other reason is because I'm outside. I'm taking my dogs for a walk. I get 4 walks a day. My brother and I got home 2-3 hours ago from set build. And after various conversations and such, it's time dogs needed to get a walk. Stretch their legs, go potty, etc. And I started thinking about this more and more. I thought it was worth saying. Because I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. I don't know your face. I don't know what problems you're going through. I don't know what blessings you've been experiencing. I don't know you. I don't know if this video is going to do anything for you other than take up over 11 minutes of your time. What I do know is this. I love you. I don't know who you are. I don't know you from anybody else. But I do know that I love you. And I care about you. And if this message does anything to help you, even if it just gives you a new perspective on things, or if it just gives you a temporary escape from everything else going on, all the stresses, all the worries, all the problems, then fantastic. And even if this does nothing for you, fine. It doesn't have to. Maybe share it to a friend who you think could use it. Or just ignore it. Just jot it down as something that you watched. Ignore it. Maybe never remember it for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter. Most important thing that I can say. Don't want to be anybody else. Don't try to be anybody else. You can try to be like somebody else. You can try to model yourself, your characteristics and parts of your personality like somebody else's. You could be more patient. You can be kinder. You can be wiser. You can be more friendly, more compassionate, more empathetic. But don't try to be somebody else. Just don't. Don't try to be somebody else. Try to be you. Try to find the best way to be you and to enjoy everything about that to the best of your ability. Enjoy you. Enjoy everything that is you. Enjoy every part of you. There is a song that's very popular lately that I enjoy. I can't think of the artist, but the song is all about that bass. And the main message of the song is every inch of you is perfect, from the bottom to the top. And that's true. Now, nobody's perfect. The one person, the way I see it, the one person who was crucified. Nobody's perfect. But you're perfect just the way you are. Stop trying to be somebody else. You're not going to be perfect just by trying to be somebody else. You're perfect just the way you are. So just be you. Be perfectly beautifully, wonderfully you. Don't try to be anybody else. Just be you.